Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Renegade Roundtable podcast. Here, I am Jeffrey Kirby. Each and every week, of course, we have Jarryd. Jarryd, how in the hell are you?
It's been good. It's been a long week of no Steeler football.
It
Long week, but
really has.
it feel like forever, but we're almost there.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when we kind of go on this. It's like a mini buy
I mean,
with the
but
Steelers,
and they get another one.
and they get another one later this year. And but you know what? It's a little bit different when you go through a mini buy and the Steelers won.
Oh yeah, of course,
Like
of
when we
course.
went on an actual buy after it was after the Ravens game, and it was like, okay, at the end of the day, you're going into the buy with a win.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the buy go by so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Until the Sunday goes, and apparently the fucking anytime we don't play on a Sunday, every team in the AFC North wants to win. So
Yeah,
that's
it is.
nice.
We'll
Well, at
see.
least that will be an impossibility this Sunday
Oh
because
yeah.
Baltimore and Cleveland play. And
Are we really rooting for the Browns this week?
um, I would almost say I don't know who I would be rooting for. I mean, now it doesn't. As
No.
of right now, you have a 1 game lead over both of them.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, it doesn't matter for us, of course, but
I mean, it's a matter of do you like it's a matter of do you think that there is somehow some way you're going to fight for the division, or are you thinking wild card?
hmm
If you're thinking wild card, then you probably would want Baltimore to win. And if you're thinking shit, we might have a shot at this division here, okay, maybe you would want Cleveland to win, knowing that you play them again that following week
yeah.
and go from there.
hmm
So it's just a matter of how you're kind of looking at this in terms of the future. um, but yeah, feels like it's been forever. Like, and now obviously in my situation, as you guys can see, I am still not in my normal setup. I am still at my remote location, which is also my recliner. Still not in weight bearing, but was upgraded into this like bulky ass like gray robotic looking boot.
hmm
So I'm out of this like metal splint and ace bandage, and I'm into that for that'll probably be what I'm in now for a while.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get my stitches taken out next week, and then hopefully I'll be walking or what I call assisted walking
hmm
here in the next week or so because this whole not walking and needing others to depend on is driving me up a wall.
I bet it is. It had to be done though.
I mean, and it had to be done. I mean, for people that like know me personally, like they know what was going on.
Mm.
Like they knew. Like goes back to our Pittsburgh trip during the home opener.
Oh
Like it
yeah.
was bothering me then, and it was just constantly getting worse and worse. So,
hmm
but yeah. All right. Enough about me. Let's get into the damn Steelers. I don't want. We'll talk about the game from the Titans. Just a little bit. But I mean, yet again, that game was a week ago. And then we'll get into the Packers game.
Mm.
Holy freaking shit!
Yeah.
A first drive touchdown.
Yeah, it took 9 weeks.
It was like, how? Like,
Took that.
someone pinch me. Is this real?
Is Matt Canada the luck charm to be on the sideline?
He is 1-0 being on the
Oh,
sideline.
here we go. Here we go. I knew this was gonna happen. Either
I
way,
mean, it's true.
it is true. He's on the sideline 1-0. We'll see again on Sunday against the Packers. But that first drive, the script, it was pretty good. The play calling wasn't, I would like some more. I'm picky, of course. We're all going to be picky, but more throw the ball in the middle of the field type of plays. The middle of the field instead of these dump offs or screens are okay. I'm not going to be bothered, but It is this to be more. What's the word for it? More. I wish I had the word for it. More. It's more exciting. More advanced offense. I would say. It was just very basic. I say, and it worked against the Titans basically. And Warren and Najee had a good game.
Yes, they did. And you know what? You know who had a really good game too? It was good old Broderick Jones.
Yeah, Broderick Jones starting right tackle, pretty damn good. Gave Najee that 10-yard touchdown. And so I think we'll say Amala with the other block, but still great hole. And Najee actually saw it and hit the hole, and got 10 yards for the touchdown. It was pretty good to see.
You went on a 10-play, 78-yard drive to start off the game, and you're like, okay, like there's definitely something with this, because I listen. There are certain places in the NFL where night games, the energy is just different.
Mm-hmm.
It is just different, and I think Acrisure Stadium is one of those places.
Mm-hmm.
Get them in that stadium in a night game. Obviously, with the changes in Matt Canada, being on the sideline, being with changes on the offensive line, I think certain things like that really helped. And it was really nice to see this offense actually go out. And again, here's what's ironic about this. They scored 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, that still might be just below average.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ironic. I mean, yet again, that's how low the bar has been set for us. But you know what? We're okay with it right now because it's steps. There's levels to this. We're taking baby steps, and hopefully this is another step in the right direction. And we're hoping that this is not what happened. Like we saw, I guess, in the second half of that Rams game, where it's like, holy shit, the offense actually looks good. And then you go against the Jaguars and
step back, basically.
You hope you don't take 2 steps forward to take
another
6 steps back.
And Deontay finally gets his first touchdown of the year.
And you know what? Guess who called it on Twitter?
I guess
and I think I said it on the live stream last week.
You said the anytime touchdown. He said hit it. Anytime touchdown. I think it was like plus like 180. I think it was.
Yes,
made some money if you hit that. Made some money if you hit that.
I was just happy. I was happy about that. You know who apparently was not? I'm just kidding. I'm not.
No. Please don't.
I was gonna say that Friday after that Titans game was Twitter after that was very entertaining.
Yeah, it's called X, but yes.
It's called but on X, I'm sorry. I'm not politically correct there, sir.
You know how people are.
You said what?
You know how people are. You got to make sure you're correct.
But yeah, it was funny how, and I remember when I originally saw the free me shit on a story, I had actually saw that. I want to say maybe 5 to 6 minutes after he posted that, and I'm like, oh, hello.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like screenshot, and I'm like, okay, this ain't good. Mm-hmm. Then I remember I put it in our group chat, and I put it out there on Twitter or on X.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, and then it just went on from there. We all know what happens after. If you're part of Steelers X, it's you know.
Yeah, and then he had to come out and say that it wasn't about that.
But you know what? Let me ask you this: Do you believe him or do you call bullshit?
I call bull.
The free, how do you justify putting free me after you were caught reacting the way that you did when Deontay scored?
Mm-hmm.
I get what George Pickens said. I understand what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Actions speak louder than words, my guy.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate, he wasn't involved in this game much, but it's gonna happen sometimes. It's just the way it is. He just has to realize it. You don't see anyone else complaining about their balls. I know his potential is much higher than the rest of them, but still, you got to be a team player.
Yeah, it's like, listen, dude. Look at guys like Hines Ward, for an example. And I know he came out and said whatever he said to about George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy where it's like he wasn't going to bitch and complain if he didn't have 10 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like, if he came out with 2 receptions for 17 yards and they came out with a win, and he was able to be a contributor as a blocker out in the perimeter in the run game, he was cool.
Yeah. And George Pickens had a nice block too. I think on that screen, he had a good block.
So it's like, it's not, and this goes to that very stereotypical wide receivers or divas and blah blah blah. And I love seeing the George Pickens Antonio Brown memes. Those are incredible.
It's only the second year.
Even Antonio Brown himself feeding into that.
Oh my God. Oh, but anyways, I need to talk about this defense a little bit, just a little bit.
Floor is yours.
The defense, they played okay to good, I guess. The third downs is what I'm really, upset about. The third and longs, and they convert. Will Levis converting. There was a guy wide open. At least it was TJ and Highsmith almost got to Will Levis. He still made the throw. Guy wide open on the sideline, still made the catch for the first. It was like 3rd and 8 and 18 and forever, and still got the first down. It's just that those are what's a little bit upsetting. You can't get off the field, is what I'm a little bit concerned about, personally. A little bit concerned.
That one play was bad, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers or the Titans offense were 3 of 13 on third down.
Interesting.
So in terms of getting off the field this week, the Steelers did a good job of that on third down. When they got to third down, they were not converting. And the Steelers were 6 of 12. So you're getting them at a 50% clip. It's not bad. I mean, I obviously would like to see that a little bit, improve more and more.
It's still, it just felt like it felt like they were converting a lot personally, but I get what they're saying. I don't think they had. Well, you said they were 3 of 12.
3 of 13.
3 of 13. I just feel like it was long, but the game was shortened. Even though they were 3 of 13, we won by 4 points, 20-16.
Now, if you wanted to be concerned about, something else, and this is something that has been an issue all year, is the run defense. I mean, Titans put up, let's see, what did they put up on the run game? 105. Okay, so it wasn't actually as bad. We were the ones that were having issues, or we were the ones that were better in the run game. 166 on the ground. Mm-hmm. That was really nice to see. The penalties, though.
Oh, that's what it was. Mm-hmm.
10 penalties. You cannot have that at all. And we knew going into that game, once we heard the crew that was going to be there, you knew there were going to be calls. And there was even Al Michaels was even saying, "Oh, what's new? Another flag." Mm-hmm. Like, they were just calling nonsense. Like, the way that they were calling flags in that first quarter made me think that we were going to possibly break some sort of record.
It was bad. It was a long first quarter, too. It was very long.
It was a very long first quarter. And it's like, what the hell?
But overall, Kenny missed some throws, of course. Everyone saw he missed some throws, of course. It's going to happen, but it shouldn't. But it's all about consistency is how I see it in this season. Kenny just has to be better. That crossing out, was it the Pickens? He should have hit them right there. That's one of the throws that I could remember. There was a couple throws. Like, he had a nice throw to Deontay in that fourth quarter drive, and I thought what it was. It was a very nice throw. And George Pickens, you would have had a touchdown.
I was just getting ready to say, my God.
You had all that space.
You had all that room. You mean to tell me you couldn't get the second foot down?
I get it. You were open. He can't hit you.
He got you the ball. You mean to tell me you could not get that fucking foot down?
If George Pickens had that foot down, that Instagram post doesn't go out. That's what that's
like it was so funny. Like I remember seeing people like there would be someone that would catch like someone would get like a touchdown pass from like the 50-yard line,
mm-hmm.
and they're just running, and it would be a meme where it was like George Pickens wouldn't have gotten that down.
Oh my gosh!
But I mean, it's like you look at guys like Antonio Brown, who was a master of even in very tight windows getting, finding a way to get the ball with 2 feet in was Chad Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Chad Johnson was a master of that. I mean, you could give him a sliver of room, he'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes great receivers is finding a way in small tight windows, being able to basically be what Antonio Brown called the Tony Toe Tap.
Mm-hmm.
And Antonio Brown was a master of that as well. It's ironic. We played the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. What happened the last time the Green Bay Packers came to Pittsburgh and played us?
And the
you had exactly that. Tony Toe Tap on that final drive, which helped you lead into that game-winning field goal.
And shout out to Boz.
You know how many games it felt like that year in 2017? How many times Chris Boswell hit game-winning field goals?
A lot.
It felt like every other game he was doing that.
Yep.
That game, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Colts game. Might have been the Lions game as well.
That I remember the amount of field goals for the Chiefs playoff game and get us in a win.
Oh Jesus, that was the year prior. That was in 2016. That was the divisional round. Yeah, he kicked like 6 field goals or some shit like that.
That's the record.
But I mean, overall with this team, it was nice to see the offense score 20.
Yep.
It was nice to see that. You know what I really like too about going back to this whole Matt Canada thing. What I like about Matt Canada being on the sidelines, and again, there's pros and cons to both.
Mm-hmm.
There's pros to being up in the booth, and then there's pros to being down on the field. I personally prefer coordinators to be on the field.
Agreed.
And the reason for that is because I like that actual communication, that face-to-face communication with the players, where you guys can actually discuss, okay, what are you seeing? Do you like this? So it's not, and if you want to maybe tweak a concept of some sort, you can. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about it, rather than being up in the booth where you're, just talking on the phone and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a big fan of that. And that's why you have assistants as well. You have those guys say, hey, what are you seeing up there? And you relay that to your coordinator, and then the coordinator could be face-to-face with the head coach, with or whatever it is with the players, and you're able to, I think, get a better
understanding
feeling of the team as well.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I think a lot of people would prefer to have the coordinators on the field than be on the booth. Just have your other coaches be in the booth, and they see what they see and just relay it down to them and just pass that information along. Just face to face. I think face to face is more connecting right there. Personally, it probably just impacts the player more personally.
And that we're 1-0, so I like it more.
And of course, then they're 1-0. Overall, good game. Got a big game on Sunday against Jordan Love and the Packers.
Oh, and by the way, real quick, one other thing, and this is something that you've noticed that I have harped on a shit ton all year long. Mm-hmm. Another win in the AFC.
Oh, another win. That is correct.
That is what I like when we look at these games each and every week. I don't care if it is the New England Patriots later on this year. an AFC win is an AFC win, and I
Agreed.
care about those a shit ton. You are 4-2 in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
Yep.
Because once you start getting into tiebreakers and all that, stacking those wins and keep on and getting those wins in the conference are huge.
Yep. You are right. That's how it's going to matter down the line here. This is where also, I'm not saying anything. This is where Kenny got a little bit better toward the end of the season type of deal. I know we're in the middle of the season. We're getting to start to that second half of the season where Kenny started to pick up, his momentum, his group. Will he do that? I hope
Not
so.
turning the ball over?
Not turn. No. And that last game, I think there were no turnovers on both sides of the ball.
Well, no. Well, I mean,
Was
if you count the late.
the late last drive, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, shit, that's
Yeah,
important to
most
seal
of
the
the game.
game. So
no turnovers for the Steelers is pretty huge.
And no sacks given up.
Yeah, the O-line played a lot better. It's probably the best O-line play we've seen all of the year so far. Keep the same group. Hopefully they develop another week. They're going against a Packers defense, which I'm sorry, I don't know much about. I don't know if you can put much thought into this. I think they're okay to decent. I think I know Jair Alexander pretty much is the only player I remember on that defense. Who else is there? Kenny Clark.
They have some dudes.
Kenny Clark still there.
Dudes on that defense.
I know Kenny Clark still there. Who's the other pass rusher? I remember he was drafted. I think he's still there.
Yeah. So they run a 3-4 just like you do. They got Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, Devontae Wyatt, who's a recent first round pick.
That's the one. Devontae Wyatt.
Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary.
Oh, Preston Smith. The D line looks pretty good. So the front seven looks pretty good. And then you got Jair on the back end. I know. That's the only one I could think of. I don't know who else is on the back end, but
so one thing to watch out for: Jair Alexander was the DNP 2 straight days with a shoulder injury. If he possibly can't go, that is a huge thing. Quay Walker, one of the middle linebackers with a groin injury, did not practice yesterday nor today in terms of me and Jarryd's thing. So those are, I think Jair Alexander is going to be the one to watch, because if he's not able to play, that is such a huge loss for them in that. And then on top of that, you have Christian Watson. He was a guy that was a full participant in both days, but it seems like there was so many injuries that he had.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of them, they only had 2 DNPs on Thursday, Jair Alexander and Quay Walker. And then in terms of the Steelers, Minkah Fitzpatrick, DNP, but we kind of knew going into this he wasn't going to play. Now, granted, me and Jarryd did have a little bit of inside knowledge. We knew he probably was not going to play in this game anyway.
It's unlikely, but there's a shot. I think. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think next week is the week to watch out for Minkah. And I think the fact that he wasn't given an IR designation is what's key about that, and showing that, hey, they thought he was going to be back sooner than that. Mm-hmm. And with us having that, like for the when the injury happened against Jacksonville, and then you go into that short week, it's like, okay, you knew the moment you saw him down on the ground, it's like, all right, we know we don't have him on Thursday. If there's a weird cut with this, we apologize. Like I said, I'm not in my normal area, so my laptop that we record on is not connected to Ethernet. We all know how that goes. Mm-hmm. So, but getting into what we were talking about with Minkah here, you knew the moment that he was gone, or the moment that game happened in Jacksonville and he was down, it's like, all right, you knew you didn't have him for the rest of that game, and probably not for that Tennessee game. Sucks, but the fact that he wasn't giving an IR designation, I think that spoke volumes. And we talked to someone who has some inside knowledge, was like, "Hey, is he a candidate for the IR?" And he said no. And so that made me feel a little bit better about things. Now, hamstring injuries worry the shit out of me.
They like to linger.
They can linger like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So I am hoping that this doesn't happen for Minka, because Minka is such an important piece.
Yep.
But yeah, we're hoping that you could get him back for the Ohio Bowl, what I'm calling it, or the Ohio Tour, when you have, because you'll go and play Cleveland, Cincinnati in back-to-back weeks, or it might be Cincinnati then Cleveland. I'm not sure. I forget how it goes.
It's one of the two.
Yeah. So I think getting him back will be key, and then you're going to be getting Pat Fryermuth back. Sucks what happened with Cole Holcomb.
That's huge.
That was because he was playing some good ball. I mean, all three of them were.
Mm-hmm.
All three of those middle linebackers between Cole Holcomb, Quan Alexander, and Landon Roberts. I was drawing his blank on his name for a second. But yeah, all three of them were playing good ball. So now, but I think that late addition of getting Quan Alexander now is being
huge.
In hindsight, was so. I mean, we were all happy about it to begin with, but having him here now and having that 3-man monster is going to be such. If you can somehow go on a little run, that will be huge.
Yeah, and now you'll see more of Mark Robinson. I would like to see how he develops his second year. Probably gets some more snaps, of course, this week. See how he does. I'm excited, but it's a huge, it's huge to lose Cole Holcomb. I wish him nothing but the best. Can't wait to have him back next season.
Yeah, that was a gruesome injury. Real quick though, I didn't get to finish in speaking of the Steelers injury report. We had 4 players on the injury report this week. All 4 were DNPs. Minka Fitzpatrick, but we kind of knew that already. And Landon Roberts downgraded from limited on Wednesday to DNP on Thursday with a knee injury. That's something to watch out for. Montravius Adams was DNP 2 days in a row with an ankle injury. That's not looking good. And then Cam Hayward, he went from limited on Wednesday to DNP on Thursday with a groin injury. I'm not so worried about that because I think that's just kind of maybe more of a rest day kind of deal. So
I think it's just a precautionary thing.
Yeah, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll see him out there. So yeah, that's kind of the injury report as of now for the Steelers and for both teams. The Green Bay Packers had a decent amount of players who were limited. Guys like Kenny Clark, Rudy Ford, who was one of their free safeties, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Jones, Yosh Neiman, John Runyon, Josh Meyer. So their offensive line, they have some injuries on their offensive line. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys on their offensive line were on the injury report this week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but doesn't matter happen when we play Sunday. Whoever's there, it's whoever's there.
Next man up.
Next man up mentality. And this offense, I hope, I pray for my sanity that it goes in another step in the right direction. Please. I'm sure all the Steeler Nation wants to hear is another step in the right direction. Matt Canada, call some better play calls, please. You had a good game last week. Be more explosive, please. Dynamic, please. If I see more of these checkdowns, I feel like we're in college. Watching college ball.
So I can confirm that it goes Steelers this week and then Browns next week.
Okay. Steelers, Browns.
You know how that week is going to go for me. Monday morning.
Oh, boy.
It is personal.
It is personal for you. Yeah, and then Steelers need it for you to hit it again next week.
Because now it's a little bit different this week, or this time around. Like, it'll be a little bit different just because knowing that we beat them week 2. But still.
Yeah. If we sweep them, it's huge. It's huge. It's a sweep.
And that would be another win in the division.
because we're 2-0 in a division right now. This will be 3-0 in a division, which is pretty huge. And then we got the Bengals next.
Oh, and they're back. They're still back.
They're back until I see them when we play the Steelers. I know they're back, but I'm a Steelers fan. Until they play the Steelers, I don't know. You look at the Ravens. It is what it is. I know it was a couple weeks ago. I can't. Receivers have butterfingers in their hands. I don't know what they had. 6 drop balls. They still lost. I know the Ravens are back and the Bengals are back. Until they play the Steelers, is all I care about. They could look good every single week until they play the Steelers.
It's ironic. So I'm looking on ESPN. Everyone in the AFC East last week lost.
Yep.
And then everyone in the AFC North won. You have 2 teams in the North who on 4-game win streaks with the Bengals and Ravens. And then obviously the Steelers and Browns, just won. And then looking the AFC West, all 4 teams won on Sunday that played. I don't know if every team did play. I don't know if anyone was on buys.
I think Denver did not play.
Who?
I think Denver didn't play.
Okay. Well, so then, everyone that did play in that division won on Sunday. And then everyone in the NFC West lost that did play. So it's a huge week. Every week is weak. It's going to be tighter and tighter. You see, the AFC North is good. I personally, as a fan, I want the division. I want it. So as much as because then that guarantees you a home game.
And then it does guarantee
at least one home game in the playoffs.
Yep. And I might have to make it that trip. Maybe not. We'll see. But
we'll be walking by then. So
we'll see what happens.
Hopefully what happens, we can possibly get shit cracking.
So we'll see what happens. I'm just taking week by week. It's going to be tight. I think a lot of people, there is a possibility. It's a long shot. It's a long shot that all 4 teams in the AFC North are in the playoffs. It's a long shot.
If the playoffs started today, all 4 teams will be.
And that
is nuts.
And that we're the 5 seed, right? I think that's what it is. And
we're the 5 seed. The Browns are the 6 seed, and the Bengals are the 7 seed.
And then what? One's off. 2 plays the 5. 3 plays.
So as of now, if the playoffs started today, Baltimore would play at home against Cincinnati. Cleveland would play on the road against Jacksonville, and then we would have to play the Miami Dolphins in Miami.
And then bet you believe I would have been there. I would have made the drive. But
yeah, I'm. You know what was kind of annoying? Going back to Steelers X for a sec.
Oh boy.
So we had. This was one annoying week to be a part of Steelers X. Because if you were not talking about George Pickens being the next Antonio Brown, you were hearing about how CJ Stroud already has more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett.
My God. That stupid conversation. And listen, no disrespect to CJ Stroud. And you're an Ohio State fan. You're from Ohio State, he's doing really good. It's his first year, on a team. He's got some talent on those receivers. Nico Collins looking good. Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz looking good. But I don't know. It's just it's a good start. I hope he continues to do well. I don't know why we're comparing him to Kenny Pickett.
Because here's what it is, and this has been something that has started since the moment the Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett, is the belief that they drafted him because he went to Pitt.
It's such a stupid thing, personally.
I'm not sure if I can say
it's not. I can see where they're coming from. Trust me. I get it. But you knew the Steelers were going to draft a quarterback.
You knew that they would, but it's a matter of if he went to
Carolina.
if he went to North Carolina, would he be a Steeler? You wonder. If he went to North Carolina, I mean, it's like, and it could be almost any other school in the country.
Yeah.
I also think it's because there's this divide between the Steeler fans because you have some that are Pitt fans and some that are Penn State fans.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
I think that's where you kind of get this weird divide of you, like you have guys who were Pitt, who are Pitt fans and Steeler fans who they're going to defend him like no tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And then like I said, there's just that weird divide, which is.
I'm sorry, after Kenny left Pitt, you see how Pitt is now.
Look, I'm one of those people where, like, I'm an Ohio State fan. Once you are once you declare for the NFL draft, in terms of whether I like you or not, I don't care what college you went to.
Yeah.
You went to Michigan. Them cheating bastards. I'll get to them in a little bit.
Oh, no, we don't need to get into that. Like, I care.
Because we're getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Oh, man.
Get down to the nits and grits.
Almost there. We're not there yet, are we?
Nits and grits and tits. But it's but yeah, like, I mean, I was a real big fan of Devin Bush coming out of Michigan.
Oh yeah, you best believe I was. You best believe I was.
I mean, our boy Herb, who's been on the show a couple times, if I'm not mistaken, he said he was a real big fan, I believe, of Paris Johnson.
Yep.
He's a Michigan fan. So it's like once you get out, like once you're going through that process, to me personally as a fan, I don't care. Now I care where you went to school because it's based on the competition that you faced. Yep. And you judge that. But in terms of whether I like you as a player or not, then that I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. So it's all about how you do in the NFL. It's all that matters. But I think that's pretty much it. We'll see what happens on Sunday. 1 o'clock, another 1 o'clock game. Well, not another. Well, back to a 1 o'clock game.
It'll be the second time this year I have to go to my local bar to watch the Steeler game, which kind of sucks in my situation. But you know what? It is what it is. We got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I do have two things that I need to say.
Oh, boy.
Number one, to that team up north.
Oh, here we go again.
And to them fans. You cheating, lying sons of bitches. I hope. You know what? I'm not even going to say that I hope you guys lose. I hope you guys win on Sunday against Penn State. I hope you guys do. Because it's going to be that much sweeter when your asses are 11-0 going into that week, going into that game, and we whoop y'all ass in the big house. Oh boy, it's going to be incredible.
Man, we'll see what happens.
It is going to be chef's kiss. I will be unbearable.
And didn't they try to snitch on you too, on your school?
Hey, like, come on now y'all were how many hour ops to begin with, and now you're doing that. Oh Jesus Lord! Listen. You've been coaching like a bitch lately. I ain't gonna lie. I need you to go out and hang 100 on them.
Oh, here we go. My goodness. So let's see what happens. A couple weeks away. Michigan they're going to Ohio State this year.
You said what?
Michigan at Ohio State this year?
No, it's Ohio State at Michigan.
Oh, so Ohio State travels to Michigan. Ooh, man. It's a little bit tougher there. We'll see. See how that game goes. But
I was at the game last year at Ohio State.
Well,
didn't realize that I was watching them bastards cheat.
Okay, here we go now. Here we go again. Anyways.
And
what's the other thing?
Oh man. first and foremost, for tonight only, I am an Atlanta Hawks fan.
Oh, God, here we go. Here we go now. For everyone that's wondering, if you probably haven't seen in the show, I'm wearing the new Magic uniforms. They look very nice. I love it. They play tonight against the Atlanta Hawks in Mexico City at 9 p.m. It's a pretty
9:30.
9:30. Jesus, that late.
God, you're a Magic fan and don't even know that.
I know it's 9:30. I know it's around that time, man. But
I appreciated the Dallas Mavericks on Monday.
Here we go again. Jesus. Anyways, the Magic, are 4-3. Pretty good start. I wouldn't have expected this, to be honest with you. And this is our first Eastern Conference game. Would you believe that? After 7 games. First Eastern Conference game after 7. So they play the Hawks tonight in their division. It's a big game tonight.
Did you really just say their division?
In our division, yeah, they're in our division.
Who in the hell pays attention to divisions in basketball?
Well, I just know what it is. I just know they are. What? I just know they are. Is that an issue?
Goodness gracious!
I know that doesn't matter, but I just know they are.
While I say the Cavs, because if I'm going to talk shit about your team, I'm going to talk shit about my own.
Jeez,
come on, man! Y'all gotta get them fucking together.
Well, what's going on? What's the record? Are they 4-4 now?
They're 3-6 or 3-5.
3 oh my gosh, the worst of the Magic right now.
So part of the issue was it's like, all right, you win your first game against the Brooklyn Nets. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, cool. And then after that, it's like
it just went downhill.
It's like, come on, man, what the hell?
Because I know, man, that's rough. I was rooting. I would say rooting for you guys. I expect you guys to be good this year.
You barely beat the Nets, and then you blew a 10-point lead to the Thunder. You blew another lead again, and then the Indiana Pacers. Apparently, whenever they play the Cavs, they turn into the second coming of the 2017 Golden State Warriors. And then the New York Knicks. I mean,
oh God, you lost to the
we
Knicks.
Had to split with them.
Yeah.
And then, of course, play the Pacers again, and they again turn into the 2017 Golden State Warriors. They're the greatest shooters of all time. And then, speaking of the Warriors, we beat the Warriors. So, how about that, Herb, and all the Warriors fans out there, bandwagons. And then the Thunder. I mean, apparently we just cannot beat the Thunder, so that's just nice. But it's okay because Saturday night, the Cavs. That's gonna be a busy night, a busy sports night for me on Saturday. Got Ohio State and Michigan State wearing the what I'm calling the Diet Coke uniforms, the all gray with red. Mm-hmm. Got that's at 7:30. Got the Cavs Warriors at 8:30, and then we got UFC at 10 o'clock. So
yeah, it's a lot. It's a busy Saturday. It's a
busy Saturday in terms of sports.
But we'll see what happens. Hopefully our NBA teams do well. The Magic got a Thursday and Saturday, 2 big games coming up. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I know we got some injuries. No, hopefully, I don't know if Markel's going to play tonight. We'll see. No Wendell for a couple of weeks, unfortunately, with a hand injury. He had surgery on, which sucks. But Gary Harris, I don't think he's back tonight as well. But Anthony Black looks really good so far. I hope he continues. Jalen Suggs looking good on defense. I love Jalen Suggs. His fierce on defense. It's very good. Very good. But anyways, that's enough Magic talk. I know no one cares about the Magic but me.
Yeah, you are definitely correct. Yeah. No one cares about the Orlando Magic.
I can't wait till we play the Cavs. Whenever that date comes up.
First night is December 11th.
Oh, man. Almost a month away. We'll be going at it.
So, all right. I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you guys did, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. And until then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Go Steelers. Fuck Michigan. Fuck the Yankees.
It's already coming.
Ke'Bryan Hayes was a Gold Glover this year. I will give a shout out to Ke'Bryan Hayes for the Pirates.
Shout out.
So give you guys that. did the Yankees have any Gold Glovers this year?
They had Anthony Volpe. as
Okay,
a Gold
I didn't
Glover.
know. I didn't remember if they did.
The
so.
shortstop. Shout out to him.
So, till then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Fuck the Magic. Peace out.
Vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.